Your whole life, you've been judged by a ruler that was never real. They told you intelligence is a score, a number on a test, a letter on a report card, a degree framed on a wall. They taught you to worship speed, how fast you can answer, how much you can memorize, how cleanly you can repeat what someone else already decided was smart. And that lie was convenient, because it created obedience. Real intelligence doesn't begin in a classroom. It doesn't live in polite definitions. It doesn't care if you sound educated. Real intelligence is leverage. It is survival. It is the ability to bend reality before reality bends you. It is the power to see what's happening and to move first. The strategists understood this. The ruthless builders of history understood this. While the crowd tried to look intelligent, a smaller group learned to become dangerous, quietly, systematically, patiently, because there is a hierarchy, a hidden ladder of cognitive evolution, and whether you like it or not, it decides who eats and who gets eaten, who leads and who kneels, who shapes the world, and who is shaped by it. Most people never climb, not because they're stupid, but because they live inside a fog. They believe they are choosing, but they're only following routines, scripts written by parents, teachers, bosses, influencers, and fear. Today, I'm going to show you the ladder. 7 levels, 7 stages of awakening. It won't feel good. It will feel like a mirror being held too close to your face, because once you recognize the pattern, you can't unsee it. The people around you will look different. Their smiles will look rehearsed. Their opinions will sound borrowed. Their confidence will feel programmed. The only question is, are you brave enough to locate yourself on the ladder? Look around you. Really look. Walk through a crowded street during rush hour. Watch faces in a bus line. Listen to conversations at a grocery store. What do you see? You see the sleepers. This is level 1, and it's the most populated level on Earth. The sleeper is not always uneducated. Some sleepers have high IQs. Some are doctors, engineers, lawyers. Some can code, quote books, speak well, dress well, but functionally, they are asleep. Because level 1 intelligence is reactive. The sleeper does not act. He is acted upon. The alarm rings. He moves. The boss speaks. He obeys. The news says panic. He panics. The advertisement flashes. He buys. He believes his thoughts are his own, until you press him. Ask him why he believes what he believes, and you'll see it happen. He starts repeating phrases, headlines, trends, whatever he recently absorbed. He is a container for other people's opinions. And at the core of the sleeper is a single trait. No agency. Everything is outside of him. Everything is someone else's fault. The economy, the system, the government, his partner, his luck. He drifts down a river and calls it life. Psychologically, the sleeper fears autonomy. Freedom doesn't feel like a gift. It feels like exposure. Give him total freedom, and he won't feel powerful. He'll feel lost, so he clings to structures, rules, authorities, majority opinions. He checks the crowd before he thinks. He scans the comment section before he forms a belief. He watches what's popular before he decides what he likes. His greatest fear is not being wrong. His greatest fear is standing alone. You know these people. You work with them. You might share blood with them. They fill the background of history. They keep systems running. They power machines they don't understand. They consume, produce, complain, and get replaced. And if you are truly a sleeper, you probably wouldn't even be here. Because content like this rarely reaches people who don't feel the crack in their own reality. But if you do feel that crack, that quiet discomfort, that sense that something is off, understand this. That pain isn't necessarily weakness. Sometimes it's reality waking you up. When a sleeper wakes up, he doesn't become wise. He becomes loud. He enters level 2. The mimic. The mimic has discovered a disturbing truth. The world rewards the appearance of intelligence, so he performs. He realizes smart is a currency, status, respect, validation, but he doesn't have a mind strong enough to generate truth. So he borrows truth from others and wears it like a suit. The mimic is the person who uses complex words to look deep. The person who collects opinions like trophies. The person who reads summaries and speaks like they read the whole book. He knows the current ideas, the trending beliefs, the safe positions. He adopts causes like outfits, not because he understands them, but because they signal a role. At level 2, intelligence becomes aesthetic, a costume, a performance. The mimic needs you to know he's smart. He needs applause, not accuracy. And this is where ego becomes dangerous, because at level 2 you feel superior to level 1. You look down at the sleepers and think, they're sheep, I'm awake. But you're not awake. You're just dreaming in a different room. The mimic is trapped in the illusion of competence, knowing just enough to sound convincing, but not enough to create. Challenge him with a new problem, something that can't be copied. Ask him to build something from nothing, and you'll see panic, because he cannot produce. He can only repeat. He's an echo, and the tragedy is this. The mimic becomes addicted to external validation. His self-worth hangs on being accepted by an imagined intellectual class. So he becomes rigid, defensive, aggressive when questioned. If you feel a burning need to prove you're right, if debates matter to you more than truth, if you stockpile arguments instead of building understanding, then you're stuck at level 2. You can speak, but you can't think freely. Now the real shift begins. When you stop performing and start observing reality as it is, you rise to level 3. The calculator. This is the first level of true agency. The calculator stops chasing applause. He stops needing to look good. He wants results. He looks at laws, morals, social rules, and realizes something terrifying. Most rules are not sacred. They're agreements, and agreements can be bent. The calculator studies incentives. He doesn't ask, what do people say? He asks, what do people want? What do they fear? What do they reward? What do they punish? He becomes strategic. He climbs ladders not by working hardest, but by positioning best. He knows when to speak, when to stay silent, when to walk away, when to strike. But level 3 has a trap, because once you see the world as transactions, you start seeing people as pieces, and that makes you effective, but hollow. You start calculating everything, even friendship, even love, even loyalty. And when your mind becomes a machine, peace becomes rare. The calculator often becomes paranoid, because he assumes everyone is calculating too. He trusts no one. He scans every room for threats and angles. Many successful people die here. They have money, status, power on paper, but no stillness. They win, and they can't relax, because they're still reacting to the board. They're playing inside a system built by someone else. Eat it to go higher. You need something the calculator lacks. You need force. You need will. You need the ability to move through conflict without flinching. That is level 4. The operator. The operator is not just smart. He is decisive. He doesn't merely see the chessboard. He moves pieces with conviction. The operator embraces responsibility. He makes hard choices. He steps forward when others hesitate. This is leadership intelligence. Execution. Discipline. Presence. People follow operators not because they're charming, but because they represent order in chaos. But level 4 has a cost, visibility. The operator becomes a target. He takes credit, and he takes blame. His power is tied to energy. If he weakens, wolves circle. Many operators burn out. They think they're kings, but they're often the highest paid servants, chained to their own ambition. And here is where the waters go deep, because above force is influence. Level 5. The Puppeteer. The Puppeteer understands that direct control creates resistance. Push someone and they push back. Order someone and they resent you. But if you can make them want what you want, you don't need to push. You own the direction of their choices. The puppeteer doesn't stand on stage. He stands behind the stage. He engineers narratives. He shapes perception. He arranges incentives so outcomes feel natural. He works through intermediaries. He uses sleepers, mimics, calculators, and operators like limbs. And often, they never realize they're being guided. But level 5 is expensive, because when you wear masks long enough, you forget your own face. When every interaction becomes strategy, connection dies. The puppeteer becomes powerful and lonely. He moves through the world like a ghost. And most people who study dark psychology think this is the top. They think being the invisible hand is the ultimate power. They're wrong, because the puppeteer is still playing the game. The true master doesn't just play the game. He designs the environment where the game takes place. Level 6, the architect. The architect doesn't manipulate individuals. He builds systems. He understands that behavior is shaped by environment. If you want people to move a certain way, you don't beg, you don't threaten, you build a hallway. The architect builds hallways. Businesses, platforms, ideologies, institutions, algorithms. While others fight over grapes, the architect owns the vineyard. This is systemic intelligence. Second-order thinking. Third-order consequences. Long timelines. He thinks in years, decades, generations, not because he's better, but because he sees patterns the others can't hold in their mind long enough to map. But even the architect is not the final level, because the architect is still attached to creation. He still has investment, and there is one level above building, a level that is almost inhuman. Level 7. The void. This is not about adding intelligence. It's about subtracting attachment. The void is total inner sovereignty. You can't threaten someone who isn't owned by fear. You can't bribe someone who isn't owned by desire. You can't manipulate someone who doesn't need approval. The void becomes calm, not because life is easy, but because the mind is no longer negotiable. He can step into any level when necessary, lead like an operator, negotiate like a calculator, influence like a puppeteer, and then returns to silence. He uses levels as tools, not identities. This is freedom from the need to be somebody. And paradoxically, that's where the greatest power lives. Now the mirror is in front of you. Where are you? Be honest. Because the lie you tell yourself is the most expensive lie you will ever pay for. Are you still reacting, waiting for permission to live? Are you performing intelligence, collecting opinions, memorizing quotes, seeking applause? Are you calculating everything, winning on paper but losing peace? Are you operating, carrying weight, building results, becoming a target? Are you influencing, moving silently, shaping choices, losing warmth? Are you designing, thinking in systems, building structures, rewriting games? Or are you learning detachment, becoming untouchable from the inside? Most people watching this are oscillating between level 2 and level 3, smart enough to sense the game, but still thirsty for validation, or trapped in transactions. And that's not an insult, it's a starting point, because awareness is the first real climb. But understand something. The modern world is built to keep you low. School trains sleepers. Credentials feed mimics. Corporate life cages calculators. Systems don't want architects, and they don't know what to do with people who develop inner sovereignty. So how do you rise? Not by collecting more information. You rise by removing illusions. To move from sleeper to mimic, you wake up to the value of knowledge. To move from mimic to calculator, you stop chasing approval and start chasing what works. To move from calculator to operator, you build courage and accept responsibility. To move from operator to puppeteer, you master psychology and subtle influence. To move from puppeteer to architect, you study systems and time. To move from architect to void, you let go. It's a dark road. Most turn back. It's warm in the middle of the flock, but it's cold on the mountain. And the view changes everything. When you stand high enough, you realize the drama, the politics, the noise. It was all a game. And you don't have to be owned by it. You can watch without being pulled. You can act without being controlled. You can build without begging. And you can become powerful in the only way that lasts. Power over self. If you want the extended version, comment below. And if this video hits something inside you, please subscribe.